So picture this. You're on vacation in Japan, strolling through a buzzing food market, maybe thinking about ramen, sushi, or some grilled yakitori. Then, bam, you stumble upon a dish that looks like it belongs more in a horror movie than on a dinner table. Live octopus. Yes, we're talking about wriggling tentacles, suction cups sticking to your chopsticks, and a dining experience that makes interactive food feel like an understatement. So how do Japanese people eat live octopus? Would you try it? Let's find out right here on History of Food. Now, before you faint into your miso soup, let's clear something up. The Japanese don't literally eat a whole live octopus, as in, hey buddy, straight into the mouth you go. It's not some cartoonish scene of a giant octopus fighting back from inside your stomach. Instead, the dish is more about incredibly fresh seafood. So fresh, in fact, that some parts of it are still moving when it hits your plate. One of the most famous examples is a dish called Ikizukuri. This word literally means prepared alive. Sounds intense, right? The idea is that the chef prepares the seafood, often fish, squid, or octopus, right in front of you. It's sliced in such a way that the nerves are still firing, so the tentacles keep twitching even after they've been separated from the main body. Basically, your meal comes with a side of showmanship. It's like dinner theater, but instead of actors, you've got wriggly seafood doing an impromptu dance routine on your plate. Now, if you're imagining a cultural scene where everyone in Japan is just casually munching on live octopus at the office cafeteria, that's not the case. It's not an everyday food. This is more of a niche experience, often tied to high-end restaurants, adventurous eaters, and curious tourists who want to brag about it on Instagram. You don't exactly walk into a 7-Eleven in Tokyo and find a live octopus bento box waiting next to the rice balls. But let's talk about the why. Why eat something that's still moving? Well, part of it comes from Japan's deep-rooted food culture that values freshness above almost everything else. Think about sushi. The whole art of sushi is built around the perfect fish at the perfect temperature, prepared at the perfect moment. The live octopus thing? It's kind of like that philosophy turned up to 11. If it's still moving, then you know it's fresh. No freezer burn, no mystery origins, no best before 2019 sticker. It's as direct as seafood gets. And honestly, there's also the thrill factor. For a lot of diners, it's about the adrenaline rush of eating something that's still wriggling. Those suction cups on the tentacles, they don't just give up because you're chewing. They can still latch onto your tongue, your teeth, even your throat. Imagine trying to explain that at the hospital. Yeah, doc, I lost a battle with my lunch. But don't panic. Chefs know what they're doing. The tentacles are usually cut into small pieces, making it less of a death match and more of a slightly sticky dining challenge. The key, if you ever try it, is to chew. Really chew. This isn't the kind of food you casually swallow whole while you're chatting about Netflix. This is focused eating. Olympic chewing, if you will. Let's pause for a second and look at the cultural side. In Japan, food is often about more than just taste. Eating live octopus ties into that respect for freshness and for the connection between the diner and the food. You're not just eating something, you're facing the reality of it. It's raw, it's honest, and maybe just a little terrifying. Now let's be real. Not everyone is on board with this. Animal rights groups have raised serious ethical concerns, arguing that preparing seafood while it's still alive causes unnecessary suffering. Japan, like many countries, has a complicated relationship with balancing culinary tradition and modern ethics. Some people see it as an art form and cultural heritage, while others see it as cruel. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Japan isn't the only place where people eat live octopus. In South Korea, there's a dish called sanakji, which is almost identical, chopped octopus served while the tentacles are still moving. The overlap in culinary tradition shows how deeply the idea of ultimate freshness runs through East Asian seafood culture. All right, let's lighten things up with a little behind-the-scenes look at what actually happens when you order one of these dishes. Step 1, you're usually at a specialized restaurant. Step 2, the chef brings out your octopus, still alive. Step 3, with incredible precision, the chef slices it into pieces, arranges it beautifully, because of course presentation still matters, and hands it over to you. The tentacles, thanks to residual nerve activity, keep wriggling for several minutes. Then it's your turn. Chopsticks out, courage summoned. You pick up a moving piece, dip it into sesame oil or soy sauce, and boom! It suctions onto your chopstick like it doesn't want to go. At this point, you're basically in a tug-of-war with your dinner. If you manage to get it into your mouth, that's when the real challenge begins. The suction cups stick to your cheeks or tongue. You chew quickly because this is not the time for slow, romantic bites. People describe it as slightly salty, with a chewy texture. In other words, the wriggling is the main event. The flavor is more of an afterthought. And that right there is one of the funniest ironies. You're going through all this drama, tentacle wrestling, chewing like your life depends on it, and when you finally focus on the taste, it's basically, meh, just chewy seafood. It's like skydiving and then realizing the view looks pretty much the same as it does from a drone. The thrill is in the act, not the outcome. So is it worth trying? If you're adventurous, it's unforgettable. If not, stick to sushi or ramen. Live octopus isn't just about shock value, it's about freshness, culture, and the raw connection between diner and food. Whether that feels fascinating or freaky depends on you. So the next time you think about Japanese cuisine, remember, yes, there's sushi, there's tempura, there's Wagyu beef, but there's also this wild, wriggling adventure for those brave enough to try it. And hey, if you ever do, just remember my one golden piece of advice. Chew like your life depends on it, because in this case, it literally might. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.